when I tell you the head came out, I thought I was going to die. Who gives birth outside the hospital in the parking lot in the middle of April? Who does that? Me. I have a nurse who tells me, you'll be back tonight on a stretcher. Oh my goodness, like I'm literally about to give birth in the car. Hey guys, it's Cam, your self-proclaimed virtual bestie, and today I'm back with another video. First of all, I want to say thank you to all the people who tuned into my last video. You guys showed me so much love. I am so grateful. To the people that slid in my DMs to tell me they appreciated the story time, to all the young mothers who also told me that they resonated with the story. Thank you so much. And Paisley, if you're watching this, thank you also for showing me some love and support on my last video. It goes a long way and it definitely puts a battery in my back to keep going. So since you guys appreciated the last story time so much, I figured why not film another one. And this story time is going to be quite shocking. This story time is going to be my birth story. So a lot of people know of this story. A lot of people have not heard about this story, but it is a story I have told countless times because it's just one of those stories that are like just crazy, honestly, because who gives birth outside the hospital in the parking lot in the middle of April? Who does that? Me. So if you're interested in hearing this story, keep watching. One coming upstairs. Who is it? Brandon? Mally? Hey.
Hi.
How are you? You good?
Why would you come?
Because I didn't know who it was. I just heard someone coming up the stairs. Don't touch anything, please. You want to say hi to the camera?
Hello, camera.
Mally, do you know what's so special about your birth story?
No.
You don't know? Did you know that you were born outside?
Yes, you told me that like 5 times.
Okay, see, so I did say, I've told this story countless times. I'll start with the appointment that I had with my OB 2 days before I gave birth. So I had an appointment on the Friday and I went in, regular protocol. They check if you're dilated, effaced, and all that jazz. And so she checked me and she told me that I was about 30% effaced and about 1.5 centimeters dilated. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, okay, I'm going to give birth soon. And I also let her know that I wasn't feeling the baby moving as much. So I was kind of concerned about that. And she said, okay, well, I'm going to give you a referral paper. You can go to the hospital and they will be monitoring everything. They'll be monitoring the heartbeat, the movements, as well as the contractions. So, you know, the day goes by, I'm running errands, and I finally go to the hospital at night. And so they hook me on the monitors and everything. And as I'm there, I'm looking at the diagram on the screen and I'm seeing that there is a pattern to the contractions. They're regular, but they're not frequent. So the contractions were happening every 15 minutes or so. And so I'm like, okay, this is interesting, but nothing to be alarmed about, because they say if the contractions are every 15 minutes is not enough to really, you know, think that there's anything happening. I'm taking note of that and I'm feeling the contractions, but I'm not thinking much of it. After that, they tell me, okay, well, the movements, the heart rate, everything is fine. You can go home. So I drive myself back home, and as I'm driving home, I feel the contractions. I can still feel them, and I'm looking at the time and I'm seeing they're still every 15 minutes. I get home, I get ready for bed, I go to sleep, and throughout that night I was feeling contractions the entire time. So I'm just like, okay, there's something happening. But I sleep through the contractions. I'm dreaming of the contractions because I'm feeling them in my sleep. And I finally wake up at about 8 in the morning, and that's when I told Brandon. He was at work at the time. I tell Brandon, I think something's happening. I think I'm going to be giving birth today. You could stay at work. I'll let you know if things progress, but I'm having contractions. And at this point, I think they were pretty much every like 10 minutes, something like that. So obviously he left work right away. He didn't listen to what I said. But anyway, he came home and, you know, I still continued to contract a little bit more at home. And then finally, at around 2 p.m., I'm like, okay, no, I cannot take this pain anymore. We gotta go to the hospital. And, you know, they say if you cannot speak through the contractions, or if you can no longer walk through the contractions, and the contractions are every 5 minutes or less, then you should go to the hospital. And if they're also lasting about a minute each. So I'm respecting that 511 rule. I realized, okay, it is time for me to go to the hospital. We go to the hospital and I get checked. They tell me I'm 1.5 centimeters dilated. So at that point, I'm like, what's going on? Like, I literally went to the doctors yesterday. I was 1.5 centimeters dilated. I've been contracting all night and all day today, and I have not progressed. So now I'm really starting to worry, because I'm like, if I'm having contractions that are this bad and I'm suffering this much and there's no progress, what is the real deal going to feel like? So I'm pretty discouraged. They tell me, all right, walk around the hospital for 2 hours and we'll check you again. I'm walking around the hospital, I'm suffering, I'm dragging my feet. I can barely walk, to be honest. I go back, they check me again, and they tell me I'm only at 2 centimeters dilated, so they cannot keep me. They have to send me home. Mind you, before I leave, I have a nurse who tells me, you'll be back tonight on a stretcher. Keep that in mind. So I go back home. The contractions actually ended up stopping, because I think that, you know, mind over matter, or mind is matter. I was so discouraged that the labor completely stopped. I go home, I get to eat a little bit, I get to take a little nap, and the contractions come back full force. And at that point, I had already experienced this same exact pain in the morning, so I'm thinking this is not the real deal, because it's supposed to be much more intense for me to go to the hospital. So I continue contracting and I continue laboring at home, and I'm literally suffering. I thought I was going to die. So I'm continuing to contract, I'm suffering. With each contraction, I'm telling Brandon to massage me, and he's just rubbing my back, rubbing, and he's like breaking his thumb, trying to give me as much pressure as I can, and I'm like, rub. Oh my gosh, I just remember I was so demanding that day, as I should, period. And then finally, I get to that ring of fire point, I think that's what you call it. I get to that ring of fire, I'm literally like dozing off. I'm just like, you know, contracting until I can no longer take the pain. And I feel this sudden urge that I need to go. You know what I'm talking about. I feel this urge that I need to go to the bathroom. And I know they always say when you feel that urge is because you need to push. But in my mind, I'm like, nah, it's not it. It's not it yet, because, you know, I was feeling this exact same pain and it led to nothing. So I sit on the toilet and I'm starting to force. You know, instinctively, your body just does what it needs to do. So I'm kind of pushing, and then, oh, my water breaks. Like, I just remember with one push, the sac just exploded. Brandon was like standing in front of me. All of the amniotic fluid just like exploded on his feet, and he was like, oh my goodness. And he runs to my mom and he's like, her water broke. And I just remember like sitting there on the toilet, and I remember I also wiped at that point, and that's when my bloody show happened. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, it is the real deal. So I just see Brandon running back and forth in the house, grabbing the hospital bag, grabbing me a pair of pants, grabbing this, grabbing that, and I'm just sitting there like no energy at all. And mind you, before that, I just gotta go back in time a little bit. Before that, I was sitting in the bath because I felt like I needed like a little bit of warm water to ease the pain a little bit. So I'm sitting in the bath, and you know, I'm feeling myself push. That's the thing, is I was feeling myself push, and I remember saying, we need to call 911. But I was so weak and so out of it that I was pretty unable to communicate my thoughts clearly. So I say, I think we need to call 911. And my mom and Brandon are kind of looking at each other like, is that what she said? I don't know how long that moment lasted, but I just remember feeling like, why is no one listening to me? Like, I'm literally about to have this baby. So anyway, fast forward, my mom is helping me get off the toilet, and finally, I don't even know how I managed to make it to the car. We get in the car, I'm just laying down in the back seat, and I just remember with each contractions, which the contractions at that point were coming in pretty frequently. With each contractions, I'm just trying to force my body not to push. And so I remember we're driving, and I'm like, I put my hand down there and I feel something, and I'm like, oh gosh, the head is right there. And I'm just trying not to panic. I'm trying not to pay attention to the road either, because first of all, I'm contraction, I'm in pain, but also I don't want to know how much time we have left. But I open my eyes at some point because I feel that it's the moment to exit, and I notice Brandon just skipping the exit. So I'm like, oh my goodness, like, I'm literally about to give birth in the car, but I didn't say anything. I just closed my eyes, We finally make it to the hospital. It was my mom's first time at the hospital, so she didn't know which door to go in from. And Brandon had already rushed to the entrance that we were supposed to go in from to grab me a wheelchair. So my mom is running right, Brandon is running left, and I'm just there like trying to make it to the door. And at that moment, I have another contraction, and when I tell you, the head came out. The head came out as I was wearing my pants. So mind you, it's April, there is snow, it's the middle of the night, okay? And I just remember, oh, she's done. As I was saying, it's the middle of April, it is cold, I'm there walking by myself, okay? So now my mom is like back, she meets me where I'm at because she realized the other door was closed. And I tell her, he's here. She's like, what? I'm like, he's here. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, the head is out. She's like, show me. Bruh. I pull down my pants. We're outside, I pull down my pants. It's 3 in the morning, mind you. Head is out, my mom goes, ah! She's right there. She just, and then she just, there was an ambulance that was parked right there. She runs to the ambulance. She's like, my daughter's giving birth. Like, I think they were kind of confused. I was like, she's giving birth, she's right there. So the paramedics rushed to me. I'm just like holding onto a bike rack at this point. My pants are still off, mind you. So I just remembered the paramedics coming to me. They're like, okay, ma'am, how old are you? What's your name? How long have you been? I'm just like, can you just focus on delivering this baby? So anyway, they're like, okay, 3, 2, 1, push. I remember just giving it a last push and he completely came out, and they caught him with this red blanket. They handed him to Brandon, and I think I cut my own umbilical cord because Brandon was holding the baby. Was that it? What happened? So the paramedic cut the umbilical cord?
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay, so the paramedics cut the umbilical cord. Mind you, I was completely out of it, guys. The adrenaline rush was over, and they told me to lay down on the stretcher. They covered me in a blanket, and at that point, you know, the baby was laying on my chest. You'll be back tonight on a stretcher. And they delivered my placenta up there, and that was it. That was my birth story. It was kind of crazy. Mind you, delivering the placenta was the most excruciating experience of my whole labor and delivery. Like, they were forcing that placenta out of me. They were pulling and tugging. I remember I was yelling in that room. Like, I remember I was like, ouch, ouch. I hadn't yelled or nothing when I was actually giving birth to the baby. But them delivering my placenta was so painful. It was a traumatic experience. They did not wait for my placenta to be ready to come out, to get it out. They just rushed the process. And they were pressing on my stomach. Oh my gosh, guys. Anyway, finally, they decided to keep the baby to monitor everything, to monitor his health, because since I gave birth to him outside, they considered him at risk. But I remember them taking my baby, making me feel very anxious, and I asked Brandon to stay in that nursery section while I rested until the doctor got to the hospital the same morning, a little bit later at like maybe 7 or 8 in the morning. And yeah, that's my birth story. Oh yeah, and must I say, my baby shower was that same day, so I did not get to go to my baby shower. He decided to make his grand debut into the world the day of his baby shower. Brandon and I were at the hospital the day of our shower, and we also announced his birth at my baby shower, so everybody was like, oh my gosh. And guess what? A lot of people decided to leave the shower and come to the hospital, so my room at a certain point had 12 people in it. I cannot believe that that was the case. Looking back, I feel so bad for my 19-year-old self who had just given birth and had a room full of people who were strangers, guys, like people who didn't know my name. There were a lot of people, and I remember feeling very like uncomfortable, because I feel like we need to start letting people know that like a mother at the hospital after she gives birth, she's like hospitalized. Like it's not a like Airbnb kind of chill, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't go visit a mom at the hospital unless she's asked you to come see her at the hospital. I feel like we need to break that cycle, because moms are just uncomfortable bleeding and like tired and learning to breastfeed and learning to bond with their baby, and then the whole world wants to just be there to get the first glimpse at the baby and not even like be there for the mom. That's crazy. Anyway, topic for another video. But yeah, that was my birth story. And yeah, I stayed at the hospital very short term. I think they kept me only one night, and then I was back home the next day. Did I forget anything? So my mom is telling you guys to subscribe. My mom said that you need to subscribe to my channel. So if you don't, you're gonna have a problem with my mom. And you don't wanna have a problem with my mom. She said to subscribe, so you better subscribe. Don't forget to like this video, comment, DM me and let me know how you feel about this video. I appreciated all the love I got in the last video, for real. You guys really did your thing. And honestly, as I said in the last video, the point of this channel is to build community. So, you know, don't hesitate to DM and comment and get a conversation going, because I love to hear from you guys. And I hope that you guys enjoy hearing from me too. So anyway, I'll catch you in the next video. I hope you enjoy this one. Bye. Mwah. So hey guys, it's Cam, your favorite, no actually that's not the intro, but I am your new favorite YouTuber from the last video. Do you guys recognize this pillow? What's up guys? She's up as soon as I start filming. I knew that this would happen. Maybe she can make a surprise appearance. Thank you.
Hi, baby.
He's winning those games now.